Here's my experience with working for Delaware Opportunities. So I am in a relationship with my serial pedophile abusive husband, and I've tried to leave several times. I've tried to utilize social services, and I've tried to utilize Delaware Opportunities to no avail. They don't help. Phil Cole, actually a police officer for the Sydney Fire Department, and this is back in the early 2000s. Me, my daughter Brittany, my daughter Ashley, and my son Nathan were in the homeless shelter with another family, and Phil Cole told John where we were. So of course he figures it out, and I report to SAV, Safe Against Violence Delaware Opportunities, and he now will know where we are, and they all blame me for telling him. That was cute, because when you try to tell him, no, it wasn't me. See those little sprinkles of shit? It was Phil Cole. He looks a lot like that. You know what most police officers are? Look it up. These are statistics. I'm not making this up. They're wife beaters. They like having a gun. They like wielding that power. They like feeling like a man. Well, you're not, Phil Cole. You're a dirty little piece of shit. Just like right there in that toilet. That's you, Phil Cole. Or how about when I was staying with my aunt, Carla Finn, Carla Bubney, whatever, and I called the cops because I told you I heard somebody out in the woods out back of her house. And y'all treat me like a piece of shit, like a Phil Cole. Ignore me. There's nothing there, blah, blah, blah. But then John tells me all about it later. John Banks, my serial pedophile ex-husband, my abusive ex-husband, laughs because he was in the woods with a gun with our neighbor Sam. He thinks it's funny because he can just get away with all this. You know what I think's funny? I think it's hilarious. I love it. So Delaware County lets him escape. He goes to Shenanigans County with his new wife, if that's what you want to call her. And he is left to run free through not only my 3 kids' lives, her 2 kids. He abused her son, Vincent, at 2. Threw him in a bathtub of cold water. Beat his ass. You know who turned him in? His oldest daughter, Shanda. The kid he had from a relationship before I met him. I wasn't with him anymore. This had nothing to do with me whatsoever. He was with his new woman, Jennifer. And you know what she had the balls enough to do? To call me and ask me to speak to social services on John's behalf. I was at my grandmother's house. I said, are you out of your mind? No, Jennifer, I'm not. And you know what your son ended up doing to him? Beating the fuck out of him with a tire iron. And who recorded it? You. When you got home from the bar with Vincent. When you almost got into a bar fight that night. Why were you so upset? Why were you so edgy? Why were you so anxious? Because you and Vincent had a little plan when you got home to beat the fuck out of John? You thought that's how you were going to get away? By using your own kid to do it? And not only your own kid, but the friend, Nick? Jennifer. You're a dirty piece of shit, Dirty Rudy. You tried to fuck my son. He was laying on the couch and you went over and tried to snuggle with him. Are you kidding me? You never wanted a goddamn thing to do with any of my kids. Remember when you pulled the rug out from underneath Brittany when she was trying to go to college with the text message you sent her? I hope this doesn't ruin your day, but we're not paying for your stuff anymore. And now you have Ashley's 3 kids? Shenanigans County allows you two, to have 3 more kids to destroy. Do you know how many times I called social services and turned you two in for all the illegal shit, having my children do fireworks? They didn't listen. They didn't care. I get told things like, oh, John would never do anything like that. Not John Banks. Not Jennifer. And you know who won't speak up and say a goddamn word about any of it? Brittany, Ashley, or Nathan. I'm crazy. Because when they lived with me, we did things like I took them to counseling. And then John would tell them only crazy people go to counseling. We get his official diagnosis of me. I'm crazy. Right, Jennifer? Why did Brittany have to do all your frickin' schoolwork for you to get your GED? You think you're going to diagnose me with something? You're sick. You're truly sick. You let him do that to your children. Your daughter Angela stood in my living room with Ashley present and said, out of her own mouth, I'm afraid that my dad or my stepdad will touch me. And you flipped out and you said, I don't ever want to hear you ever say anything like that again about John. Why? Nobody's allowed to talk about it, but he's allowed to do it. You're disgusting, Jennifer. You better get tested. Do you know how many women he's fucked around with? Do you know how I know? Because he tells me. Because he won't shut the fuck up. Because no matter how many times I tell him, I don't care. I only speak to you because my kids twist my arm and guilt me into it. Well, I'm not doing it anymore. I will see you in court, John. All your illegal activity, selling fireworks. If Kevin had a brain in his head, he'd have caught on to that a long goddamn time ago. All the guns. Who's this Butch guy? I told Nathan to get that goddamn gun out of my house. I don't like guns. Nathan had a gun from your house, which you're not even supposed to have firearms. You were a felon. But then the flood happened and Dick Northrup told me, oh, well, some of our paperwork got lost. We don't have that. That came up missing. It doesn't matter because Jennifer has her pistol permit. How many times did Vincent have a gun to your or my son's head? John? Jennifer? You guys are disgusting. You can call me whatever names you want. You can say about me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Your turn for everyone to know what's been going on in your home. And if Brittany, Ashley, and Nathan don't want to speak up for themselves, I don't fucking care anymore. They want to keep lying and defending you. They want to keep up with their Stockholm Syndrome, trying to get your approval. Well, they can have fun with that. I guess maybe they should have listened to me a long time ago when I said go to counseling and talk to your counselor. And what was one of the things that you told those kids all these years to keep them under your thumb about your life insurance? And then I asked Jennifer about it, and Jennifer's perplexed and doesn't know anything about what I'm talking about. You don't have anything. Jennifer has life insurance, not you. You have nothing. You lied to those kids, promising them riches and bullshit. Just like when you promised Nathan a four-wheeler. And you know who got a four-wheeler? Vincent. Nathan wasn't allowed to ride it unless Vincent was there. Nathan wasn't even allowed to look at it. He was allowed to get burnt on it. I turned that into social services. They didn't do anything about that either. You didn't take him to the hospital to get it taken care of. Supposedly Jennifer calls a nurse friend of hers. The nurse tells her to put Bactration and a Band-Aid on it, on a burn You need Silvadine, you stupid cunt. Jennifer, I hope you burn in hell. I hope you burn in hell for everything that you've ever done to my children. I hope you burn in hell threefold for what you've done to your own. And now you have 3 more in that house that you're just going to let him do whatever he wants to? You're disgusting.